Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new route. We're going to do Alan's route now. And we're going to start out at chapter 1. And we're going to skip to the choices that gets Alan. And I'm going to do this in a 2-part video, so if you don't want to watch this one, you can just not watch it at all. I'm going to leave timestamps for the choices so you don't have to see me skip through anything if you don't want to, or you can just go right on to the next video, which is going to be at the start of his route. We're going to eat delicious food. That's when she first got on the ship. And now we're going to enjoy the music. And this one's one of Alan's catches. What wonderful music. The ship is just departing, and this is her choice for the departure. I think that's a word. The ceremony is exhilarating. I listen to the music while leaning over the railing, and Alan comes to stand next to me. I can feel how much the music moves him. I'd expect no less from this musical prodigy. Alan taps his finger on the railing as if he wants to join the performance. I wonder if Alan can perform somewhere on the ship. It's a luxury liner. Surely there's another piano or two around here somewhere. My thoughts adrift, imagining Alan's live performance as we listen to the music. I listen with my eyes closed but feel someone tap me from behind. I look out at the shore like he suggests, and I see a wonderful ceremony orchestrated with magic. Perhaps to show the people of Quiddar magic, sorcerer magic users are giving a rare performance. They're using wind magic to make flower petals dance, and their fire magic swirls and changes colors like fireworks. That elegant sight makes me realize how blessed the magic of sorcerer is. Then again, all I can use is Earthbump to raise the hump into the ground. But there's no need to feel bad about not being talented at magic, because the tomb flags have all been evaded now. I don't know if this is skippable. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next one. And then this one, they're at the pool. And we're going to do warm-up stretches, even though we saw this in the first playthrough of mine, because I was going to go do all the choices, but then I decided not to, so we're just going to redo this one. This one's pretty funny. Looks genuinely curious about what I said. It seems that he didn't know you need to warm up before swimming. In a nation with no pools, it's not surprising. I have to teach them. Oh, well, I skipped a little bit too early, but I was about to help him try, but for some reason he brushes my hand away. Don't touch me wearing that. If you get a cramp while swimming, you could drown. This isn't something I can afford to take lightly. The first thing you do is stretch your Achilles tendon. As I crouch down to move Alan's heel, he makes a break for it. I tried to show a good example, spreading my legs while stretching my Achilles tendon. I know.
意外な一面というものですわね。でも、カタリナ様に手取り足取り準備運動を教えてもらえるなんてずるいです。アラン様に負けないよう、お兄様にも頑張っていただかないと。
Don't worry, he's next. We'll get to him eventually. We enjoy our time playing in the pool. Floating down the swimming ring and chatting with everyone, I think about taking a break. So I think we're done with that one. Her stomach is growling and in front of a complete stranger. We're going to cover it up again. But we've already seen all that in the last two, so now we're going to hum as I go. Now she's being escorted to the very first party.
お前な、仮にも淑女が歌いながら歩いてたらダメだろ。
Why not? What's wrong with that? I was humming as my mind drifts to the promise of dinner, but Alan brings me back to reality with an exasperated look.
仕方ないじゃないですか。人生で初のクイードの料理ですよ。
それはそうかもしれないが。で、その曲。
あ、気づきました？アラン様が卒業パーティーで演奏されていた曲です。
Oh, that's really cute. I've grown fond of that melody and find myself singing it all the time. When I tell Alan that, he turns red and laughs bashfully. Oh, that's really cute.
そうか。そんなに気に入ったんなら、また演奏してやっても。
あら、私もぜひ聞きたいですわ。ねえ、カタリナ様。
It's like, what do you want?
そうね。この船でもアラン様の演奏会を開くといいかもしれませんね。
ああ。
Sure.
抜け駆けは許しませんことよ。
Who is she directing that as? Is she getting jealous because I'm flirting with her fiance?
何のことだ?
Oh, no, she's not. She's not. That was directed at Alan. Alan can't get ahead of her when it comes to Katarina. She's in competition with her own fiance.
いいえ、気づいていないのでしたら結構ですのよ。
She's already picked up on the fact that Katarina is flirting with him. Unintentionally, of course. She has no idea. I watch Mary whisper something to Alan and then smile widely. Although these two are engaged, they don't really seem lovey-dovey to me, but they do seem close, like siblings. We continue our lively chat on the way to the party hall. There's nothing to be afraid of as long as I'm with my friends. What do you mean be afraid? You're looking forward to this. We're going to go for the fish. And then there's going to be some unread stuff coming up, it looks like. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, she's going to reminisce about Alan's performance. He was playing the piano during that, I believe. I think Alan's performance was wonderful. Even performing with an orchestra, he still stands out. Actually, I thought he was the most skilled among them. And Alan himself seems to enjoy the music. That joy was quick to spread to the audience, myself included. I didn't get to talk to him much today, so I'll tell him that tomorrow. Either way, I want to eat my fill of that feast tomorrow. I didn't get to eat until I was satisfied today. I was so preoccupied with how Keith was acting, I completely forgot to eat. Usually, I'd at least get a couple more plates, so I am not exactly full right now. But considering how delicious the food was today, I'm sure tomorrow will be just as lovely. Tomorrow night is another party. Since it's not the first, it shouldn't be too awkward if I go straight for the food. And I think that's where we... Yep, so now we're in chapter 2. Chapter 2. No, just stop. We're going to skip. Alright, we're going to tell him that we're hungry again, because that's been the choice for all of them so far, it seems like.
それにしてもお腹減ったわね。
And then whenever he looks at Rosie curiously, we're not going to ask him. And then when they ask us what our type is, oh, this is not on there. It turned out, oh yeah, it turned out okay. So this is when she's thinking of why Alan and Mary are not really romantically attracted to each other. She's like, well, it turned out fine, because she stole Alan's line in the anime. Alan is also an attractive prince. It shouldn't matter much, even if I did steal a line or two from him. He's also a great magician and kind, if a little blunt. I'm sure one missed line hasn't changed his charm.
まあ、クイードにはこんな植物があるんですのね。
And then when they ask what our type of guy is, we're going to say the conceited types.
俺様硬派な感じとか?
I imagine the game version of Alan as I say that, and Sophia's eyes sparkle.
まあ、いいですわよね。荒っぽいのに硬派な盗賊や海賊みたいな男性と霊嬢との恋物語。ロマンス小説の鉄板です。そういったタイプは近くにはいそうにありませんわね。よかったですわ。
No? Are you sure? Oh, right. Our Alan doesn't really fit that description. He's kind and laughs with us often. Obviously, I can't point that out. Oh, I can't point him out. The topic shifts as we depart from the library. Actually, we probably don't need to do a whole extra chapter.
ギャラリーラウンジの方に行ってみましょうか。
I don't need to do a whole extra video because we're 13 minutes in and we're almost done, so I think I'm just going to include this in Alan's journey. For some reason, Keystroke took like an hour almost to get through all the extra text, but there's not too much extra text in this one. Yep, so we just imagined his eyes turning violet. Or that we imagined we saw violet eyes. Oh, and there's going to be a memory scenario, so let's just skip until we trigger that. Okay, so this is where the next part goes, but we've already read all this. So she's in the gallery now, and she's going to run into Rosie. Actually, this is different than the last time. So she spills something on her dress and she went to go wipe it out, and then she's trying to head back, and then she gets lost and goes into the gallery. And this is where my skip function has stopped because this is new apparently. I found myself completely lost as I tried to make my way back to the party. I wander around until I find myself at the gallery lounge. I notice no one is here as I look around. I suppose I won't be able to ask for directions. I did a lot of walking. Maybe I could rest here for a while. I'm certain that I'll have a lot of socializing to do when I return to the party room, so maybe it's better for me to rest a little. I pop myself down on the chair and my eyelids begin to grow heavy. Come to think of it, I didn't get much sleep today, and I woke up early. So now she's going to sleep. Oh no, I can't keep my eyes open. The soft, smooth sofa looks enticing. I can feel my consciousness fading. Ah, the party's food was so delicious. I wonder what tomorrow's breakfast could be. Dreams of food as she goes to bed. I can't take it anymore. My eyelids cling shut. Suddenly, someone grabs my shoulders.
Oi, こんな場所で寝るな。
Oh, Alan appears here instead of Rosie. Croissants, butter rolls, a loaf of bread.
おい、このアホ令嬢、起きろ。
You dumb rich girl. That's funny.
クロワッサンは?
Where's my croissant?
何寝ぼけたこと言ってんだ。ここはギャラリーラウンジだろ。
It's gonna be funny. You just like wake her up and she's like, food? Where's my food? He's like, what are you talking about?
あれ? アラン様? どうしてここに?
それはこっちのセリフだ。お前がなかなか会場に戻ってこないから探してたんだよ。
That's really cute. He came looking for her though.
それはお手数おかけしました。
He must have been really worried if he snuck out of the party to look for me. I get up to hurry on back to the venue.
ほら。
Oh, is he gonna escort us? Seeing Alan offer me his hand made me realize it's been a while since we've spoken alone like this. I'm always with everyone. I thought he was gonna offer his arm or something. It's the same back at the academy, and even now on this ship, I'm always doing something with someone. And since boarding this ship, Prince Alan has been busy fulfilling his duties. On the first day, we were busy paying our respects to everyone. Oh my word, I still haven't told him how I felt about his recital the other day. Alan played the violin on the first day. Oh, it wasn't, a piano, I guess. I wanted to give him my feedback, but it has slipped my mind until now. There were a lot of people to greet on the first day. Then there were the speeches, and I got distracted by the food. Then there was Keith. Even today, I was too busy touring the boat and enjoying the feast. I totally forgot to tell him.
そういえばアラン様、ちょっと時間が経っちゃいましたけど、初日のパーティーでの演奏、本当に素敵でした。
As I tell him how I feel, Alan looks confused for a moment. His face turns red slightly.
ああ、そうか？
はい、やっぱりアラン様の演奏は素晴らしいですね。もっとたくさん聴きたかったくらいです。
The performance at the party was exclusive, so he didn't perform many songs. Maybe they were trying not to make a noble like Alan perform too much. And perhaps they considered how nervous the other performers might have been too. However, Alan is known as a music prodigy, so his performance was wonderful. If only I could hear it again.
バイオリンもうっとりするような音色だけれど、ピアノも上手だし、せっかくならピアノの演奏も聴きたかったな。
He's still blushing while she's complimenting him.
なら少しそこのピアノを弾いてやるが。
Oh really? Aw.
いいんですか？
He's like, well, I guess if you want me to.
聞きたいって今言ってただろ。
No, did I say that out loud again? I thought I kept it to myself, so I am surprised, but if this is going to allow me to listen to him play, I'll take it.
ぜひ聞きたいです。
わかった。
I lean forward as I nod. I can see a small blush forming as Alan sits down on the piano chair, looking a little embarrassed. Alan puts his hand on the keys and begins to play. I'm instantly drawn into the music. Alan looks serious as his brooding gaze drifts across the piano keys. He plays delicate melodies that move my heart. Alan is always amazing when he performs. They call him a music prodigy and sorcier for a reason. Many people are fans of Alan's performances. He receives high praise at the academy and in our social circles. Unaware of his talents as a child, Alan has always seen himself as inferior to Giorno. But he doesn't seem to feel that way anymore. I'm glad because I wouldn't be able to listen to his performance like this. It is really pretty. I love pianos too. Just piano melodies is nice.
やっぱりアラン様の演奏は素敵ですね。聞けて嬉しかったです。
ああ、まあ普通だろう。
いやー、でもなかなか聞けない演奏ですよ。まず私じゃこんなに弾けないですし、アラン様はやっぱりすごいですよ。
まあ俺はお前の演奏も悪くないと思うけどな。
What performance was that?
本当ですか？いやいや、でも音楽の成績も平均スレスレですし。
My teacher always says, I like your enthusiasm, but honestly, I'm nowhere close to being good. And I always suffer during tests.
そういえば学園の授業でアラン様にピアノの練習に付き合ってもらって助けてもらったことがありましたよね。
ああ、そうだったな。あの時は確かピアノで不合格をもらったから再試験になったんだったか。
This is the memory scenario, I think, when they practiced together as a kid. And I think this was his turning point as far as liking her.
時間が少し空いたな。
An after school day, I had the afternoon free, so I sat alone in my room, staring out the window and wondering what to do. Since joining the student council, I was pretty busy balancing those duties, my obligations as a royal and my studies. So he's a little bit older than what I thought he was going to be. But here and there, I got a moment of peace. I felt the urge to play something. Usually I would sit down at the piano, but the sky that day was crisp and clear. It felt like a waste to spend it indoors.
今日みたいな晴れの日は外でバイオリンを弾くのもいいかもしれないな。
I thought it would be nice to find a secluded spot, maybe a hidden corner of the garden. Just thinking about it felt refreshing. I grabbed my violin case and headed for the door. I was searching for a good place when I noticed someone approaching me, Katarina.
アラン様
She ran to me, smile beaming.
お前、淑女が走るなよ。
I teased her before I could think about it, looking over her as she came close. She was coming from the flower beds, which meant...
今日も畑に行っていたのか？
ちょうど畑で一仕事を終えてきたところです。アラン様は？
天気がいいから、たまには外でバイオリンでも弾こうかと思っていたところだ。
I lifted the case in my hand and she gasped.
バイオリン
Okay. She looked shocked for some reason. Given her usual reaction, I thought she'd be excited, glimmering eyes and all. Instead, she looked almost scared, her eyes wide and cheeks pale.
なんでこんな顔してるんだこいつは。
She was as hard to read as ever. As I wondered, she spoke up timidly.
ついて行ってもいいですか？
別に構わないが。
ありがとうございます。
The tension drained from her face. It was very noticeable. Just how much does she want to hear me play, I wondered.
いや、さっきの顔を見る限りは違うだろうけどな。
Maybe it was okay to feel a little conceited about that.
ただ練習するだけだぞ。
I said that and turned away, feeling a little embarrassed. Right, sounds good, as she responded. Searching for a place to play, we ventured through the garden. As I thought, Katerina looked a little meek as she walked beside me. Eventually, we found a bench in a remote corner and decided it was a good place to stop.
じゃあ、ここで弾くぞ。
She turned to me as she sat down, her face glowing. Maybe it was all in my head.
それにしても、ジオルドたちがいないのは珍しいな。
She was usually surrounded by friends. When I realized we were alone together, my heart started to race. With a deep breath, I let that feeling guide my hands to the violin strings. Aww. He's like, oh, I'm actually alone with her. You go play his heart out now. It truly did feel nice playing freely under the blue sky. I let the melody flow naturally for a while. After I settled in on the song, I glanced over at Katerina, nodding and grunting, and thought she didn't seem to be listening. I wondered if she had a critique. I halted my performance.
カタリナ、どうしたんだ？
何がですか？
いや、うなってただろう。何かおかしなところでもあったか？
いや、アラン様の演奏はいつも通り素晴らしいんですが、
Image
すみません。
training?
ちょっとイメージトレーニングをしていまして。
What's image training?
は？どういうことだ？
いやー、すごく言いづらいんですが、実は私、教養のピアノで不合格をもらってしまいまして、それの再試験があることをさっきアラン様に会った瞬間に思い出したんです。
それであの時衝撃を受けたような顔をしてたのか、こいつは。
With a better understanding of what was going on, I felt both relief and concern as I looked over her.
それで、その再試験はいつなんだ？
実は明日なんです。
は？
だから今日はアラン様のそばでこうやってイメージトレーニングをしようかなと。
お前、それイメージトレーニングでなんとかなるのか？
I questioned how she planned to get away with that if the test was the next day.
子供の頃はまあ割とピアノも弾けてたと思ったが。
Then I realized I hadn't heard her play the piano since then. I suppose Lady Clay's bids for musical education failed to take hold. Even if Katerina could still play, the tests were far from easy. It might have been too much for her.
それで真面目に練習に取り組むならともかく、今日まで忘れていて、しかもイメージトレーニングでやり過ごそうとしてたって。
She was as impressive as ever, impressively incomprehensible. But after hearing all that, I couldn't just sit by and moved to put the violin away.
ってあれアラン様バイオリン弾かれないんですか
Katerina looked troubled, her image training aid suddenly gone.
いや普通そこは練習してきますだろ
As usual, she was entirely unpredictable. Her train of thought made no sense. I sighed, placed the violin back into its case, and turned back to face Katerina.
今日はこの後の時間も空いているからなピアノの練習をするなら付き合ってやる
Katerina leapt to her feet, eyes ashine. Her earnest excitement made my cheeks turn hot.
もちろん再試験を合格できるよう厳しくやるからな
I said that to hide my embarrassment, but Katerina looked too pleased to notice.
ありがとうございます
Honestly, it made me happy to hear she was depending on me. Though ashamed about the violin, this wasn't a bad day to spend the day, or so I thought. Until I heard her play, then I saw just how serious an affair it was going to be. That's funny. Alright, you didn't pass piano, so you had to take the test again, huh?
そうです
I remember Alan was at a loss for words when he heard my performance.
あの時は本当にありがとうございましたおかげで再試験もなんとかなりました
Oh, that's good.
いや別に俺は大したことしてないけどない
やいやあの時しごかれなかったら多分再試験でもまた不合格だったと思います
As a child, I used to practice often, but after entering the academy, I started skipping lessons and my piano skills got rusty. So Alan's training truly helped me out.
アラン様も困ったことがあったらいつでも言ってくださいねと言っても私には堂々と胸を張れるような取り柄がないのでお手伝いできることはなさそうですが
Alan always helps me with music. Maria always helps me study. When it comes to magic, everyone is much more skilled than I am. Keith always helps me with homework. I'm reliant on everyone. When it comes to tree climbing or farming, I'm confident I could teach anyone, but these are not practical skills in a noble society. I continue muttering to myself and then look up. I see Alan standing there, look at me dumbfounded. Ah, oops. Oh no, I hope I didn't sound sarcastic when making those comments. I didn't mean to diminish his talents.
いやもちろんアラン様の演奏は努力の賜物だって分かってはいますがその努力ができるのもすごいと言いますか
まったく何言ってるんだお前にしかできないことだってちゃんとあるだろ
え私にしかできないことですか
I can only think of tree climbing and farming. I don't think those skills are very useful, but maybe it could be useful to someone in the future. Come to think of it, my first competition with Alan was tree climbing. Ah, is that what he's referring to? I was nicknamed Wild Monkey in my previous life for a reason. My skills from that life hadn't dulled one bit. So, does that mean Alan actually wants to climb trees still? Maybe he's being modest and doesn't want to say anything. I can see him relaxing on top of a tree. I mean, feeling the breeze on top of a tree feels so good. Maybe Alan wants to learn. I'd love to teach him how, but there isn't a tree to climb on this ship. Maybe we could climb the ship's mast. Don't do that. Last time you fell off of it and you doomed yourself.
いやいやそれはバレたら怒られるどころじゃないわ学園の木ならそれもお母様の耳に入ったら絶対怒られるし
That's funny, she's thinking aloud again.
おいカタリナ何ブツブツ言ってるんだ
登りやすい木登りやすい木他にどこにあったかな
It's like, what in the world?
これはまた何か妙なことを考えてるなお前はきっと一生自覚なんてしないままなんだろうな
I doubt she does. Huh? I thought I heard a laugh and look up to find Alan smiling. He's usually a little standoffish, so it is very rare to see him smiling like this. She doesn't even realize that she does it. It's really funny. When Alice notices me staring, he awkwardly lets out a cough and then places his hand back on the piano keys.
それよりまだ聞くか？
Yes, please.
いいんですか？ぜひ聞きたいです。あ、でもそろそろパーティー会場に戻った方がいいんじゃ。
Nah, you guys can just keep her a little bit longer. Alan is from the royal family, so I'm pretty sure he has to greet some important people. It's probably not a good idea to stay away for too long. But compared to yesterday, there are much fewer people at the party today.
ああ、まあ今日のパーティーで必要な挨拶は済ませてあるし大丈夫だろう。
See, he had the same thought. Just keep her there a little bit longer.
カタリナは聞きたいんだろ？
You won't get this chance again.
はい、もちろんです。
I nod cheerfully. Alan looks a little happy as he runs his fingers along the piano keys once more. I'm instantly drawn into his music. I sigh in admiration. Wow, amazing as always. Hey, wait, I feel like I've heard this song before. Have we? It feels a bit nostalgic, but where did I hear it? It's at the tip of my tongue. I still can't remember. I perk my head up in confusion, but Alan continues to play the piano so beautifully that I am instead held captive by his music. I wonder where she heard it from. I guess it's not gonna tell us now. Oh, it's from Alan's point of view.
やっぱりこの曲がなんだか覚えてないみたいだな。
He sounds a little sad. As I play the piano, I look over at Katerina happily listening to me from the corner of my eye. Katerina and I used to compete with one another with this song. That's what I thought it was. Something from the anime. Katerina is the type of person to forget things easily. I figured that even if I were to continue playing the song, she wouldn't remember.
でも聞いたこと自体は覚えているみたいだな。
From the way she perked up her head, I can tell. It almost makes me laugh how obvious her facial expressions are. As my fingertips glide across the piano keys, I recall the first time I played this song in front of Katerina.
あの時俺は自分に音楽の才能があるなんてみじんも思ってなくて、俺の演奏の腕は普通の腕前でジオルドには相変わらず及ばないと思って弾いていたんだよな。
And yet everyone cheered for me. I thought they were only flattering me to gain favor, but I never accepted their compliments. It was all thanks to Katerina that I began to believe I may actually be good at something. Katerina Clays, the woman who I have feelings for, my forbidden feelings. Oh yeah, there was some extra text at the beginning of Keys that explains a little bit of his perspective and his feelings for Katerina, but since it was read in Keith's root, it did not appear as unread text in this one. So if you guys missed it for any reason, you guys can go back and watch the first episode of Keith. And it's at the very beginning of the episode, or before they even know that she's there. They're thinking about her. I met her when I was about 9 years old. Oh, we're gonna have a flashback. Maybe this will be its own episode, because now we're at 40 minutes. That day, an irritated 9-year-old me was waiting in the living room of the Clay's family residence. I'm engaged to Mary Hunt, but every time we were alone together, all she would do is talk about Katerina. Not only that, but whenever I would invite her over, she would only deny me because she had plans with Katerina.
一体どういうやつなんだ、カタリナ・クライスは。
Oh. I'm the youngest child, so when I met Mary, I was happy because it felt like I had a younger sister, so getting turned down upset me. And of all people, the cause of my problems was Katerina Clays, the fiance of my twin brother Giorno. Back then, I had been living my life feeling inferior to Giorno. No matter what I did, I couldn't win against him. And it was always the calm, cool Giorno who would take things from me, evaluations, fame, everything. Now his fiancée, Katerina, is about to steal my Mary.
いや、違う。きっとそのカタリナ・クライスがメアリを誘惑しているに違いない。だから俺は断られてばかりなんだ。
Seducing, 9 years old. I visited Katerina to confront her about it, but
これがカタリナ・クラエスか？
the girl who had come through the door was different than what I had imagined.
ジオルドの婚約者であり、メアリが常々絶賛しているから、どんな美少女かと思っていたが。
This girl standing there wasn't ugly, but her eyes were narrow and looked rather harsh. She's not ugly, but she's not attractive either. Upon seeing her, I was slightly thrown off, but I brushed those thoughts aside and got straight to the point.
メアリ・ハントは俺の婚約者になった。知っているか？
はい、存じていますが。
分かっているなら、みだりに誘惑をするな。
誘惑って何ですか
Katerina's blue eyes grew wide upon hearing my accusation. Her lack of understanding annoyed me even more.
しらばっくれる気か。俺が誘ってもいつも今日はカタリナ様とお約束がと断られるんだぞ。それどころか一緒にいる時もほとんどお前の話ばかりだ。それもこれもメアリが純粋なのをいいことにお前が誘惑しているに違いない。
I said it to her face and Katerina's slanted eyes slanted even higher.
ちょっと何それ、言いがかりもいいところだわ。
It's funny.
何が言いがかりだ、事実だろ。そんな顔して純粋なメアリをたぶらかして。
メアリがたまたま家に来る約束をしている時に誘うあなたが悪いんでしょ。それに私の話ばっかりなのはあなたの話がつまらないからよ。だいたい本当に魅力がある人から誘われれば女の子はついていくわよ。あなたに魅力がないのよ。
You have no appeal. She snapped back at me and I completely froze.
魅力がない。つまらん。
All these years, people talked behind my back saying that Jordan was better than me, but to be told that to my face was a first. It was so uncalled for, I almost laughed.
ここまで面と向かってバカにされたのは初めてだ。
その今のはつ
いい覚悟だな、カタリナ・クライス。その暴言を俺への挑戦として受け取る。
Personal challenge.
俺と勝負しろ。
And that's how Katerina Clays and I had a showdown, but she always
なんで
won.
木登りなんだ。
I stood dumbfounded, looking at the tree that Katerina had taken me to. I did ask for a showdown. If we were men, we would have a sword duel, but my opponent was a woman. That's why I allowed Katerina to decide the content of our battle, but
普通はチェスとかボードゲームになるんじゃないのか。
because I had my pride as a man, when Katerina asked, "Can you not climb a tree?" I instinctively answered, "I'll take you on." As a result, I found myself standing in front of a big tree in the Clay's yard next to Katerina.
正直木登りなんてしたことがないが。
But a race to the top is an easy way to have a clear winner, so we began our showdown, but I lost horribly.
なんだ今のは。どうして公爵家の令嬢がこんなに木登りがうまいんだ。そもそも由緒正しき公爵家に生まれた令嬢がなんで木に登ろうと思ったんだ。
I was confused as I watched Katerina climb to the top like a monkey. Then I heard Katerina's voice from up top.
アラン様、これで勝負はつきましたので、もうよろしいでしょうか。
もう一度勝負しろ。今のは初めてで慣れていなかっただけだ。
This is how my tree climbing competition with Katerina began. No matter how many times I challenged her, she moved up the tree like a monkey. I could never defeat her. However, even though I kept losing, Katerina always gave me her best. She never went easy on me just because I was a prince, and she always looked at me straight in the eyes.
だからいつの間にかカタリナに会うのが楽しみになっていったんだよな。
And now you know why Mary talked about her so much. Back then, I held a grudge against Giordo, my twin brother, who never paid attention to me. I didn't want to lose to Giordo, but I couldn't do anything to beat him. That feeling never left me.
自分には素晴らしい才能なんて何もない。いいところを全てジオルドに取られた残りカスだ。そう思っていたのにな。
You're not leftover scrap, you're gorgeous. When Giordo and Katerina praised my piano skills, I snapped back with, "You don't really think that. You can drop the stupid flattery."
だが、そんな俺に、カタリナは言ってくれた。向き不向きの問題だ。ジオルドにも苦手なものはあると。
I realized she was right. Thanks to Katerina, I realized there were things even Giordo couldn't handle. I assumed my older twin brother was invincible, but of course he wasn't. I can't believe I ignored something so obvious.
当の本人は、俺がそれでどれだけ助けられたかなんて気づいてもないみたいだけどな。
She even says herself that she doesn't possess any useful skills. But I disagree. It's true that Katerina is lacking in her studies and magic, but at least in my eyes, she saved my heart, and I've fallen for her. That's so sweet.
まあ、そういうやつは俺だけじゃないんだけどな。
My twin brother, who is Katerina's fiance, is one of them. He's head over heels for Katerina and can't stay calm when anything involves her. It's wrong for me to develop feelings for my brother's fiance. A little bit. Like, these roots has got to be so awkward for the other party, because it's just like it's wrong for me to do this, because I feel like I'm stealing her away.
ただ、そばにいられるだけで十分だ。
Oh, but don't worry, this is chapter 2. You'll get your entry into chapter 3. I don't have to confess my feelings to her, so as long as I can see her smile. Oh, I can't wait for his confession. But at the very least, I like to have Katerina to myself in this moment. I enjoy that thought as I continue to play the piano. That was super sweet. At the end? No. Eventually the song comes to an end and I take my hands off the piano keys. Immediately, Katerina claps. Her eyes are glimmering. I feel another pain in my heart. This is how she always is, just truly honest with her feelings. Yeah, I was like, he blushes a lot when she compliments him. It's easy to like mistake that for, you know, flattery versus like I'm interested in you. She's so carefree and honest. I sometimes feel like it's not an appropriate demeanor for a noble lady.
だが、ずっとこのままでいてほしいもんだな。カタリナには。
And I want to continue to see her carefree expression, preferably forever. I feel guilty about my feelings towards my twin brother's fiance as I look at her clapping for me. I know, I get it. It's okay, just like in Keith's route, he's going to accept the fact that Katerina did not return his feelings and, you know, quietly let her go. After the song ends, I clap with all my might, and that makes Alan blush just a little.
ああ。
ところで、どこかで聞いたことがある曲のような気がしたんですが、この曲って何でしたっけ？
別に、なんとなく懐かしくなって弾いてみただけだ。
Oh, come on, you can at least tell her. Whatever. What does he mean by that? I tilt my head in confusion as Alan gets up from his seat.
気にするな。それより、そろそろ会場に戻るぞ。さすがにパーティーが終わるまでここにいるわけにはいかないからな。
あ、そうですね。
He's right. I'm sure the others are worried by now. Alan and I both get up and start to leave the gallery lounge just then. Oh, this is where they get bombed at, huh? Oh no. Pirates are attacking them. Oh, that was the end. Okay. Well, that is the end of the chapter. I'm going to go ahead and stop here just because it's like 52 minutes now. It's going to be edited down, but it's still going to be quite long if I include Alice chapter as well. So, go ahead and look forward to Alice chapter next, which I want to release pretty close to this one. I'm not gonna like wait too long because this is mostly a recap with just a little bit of an extra scene at the end. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please drop a thumbs up down below and or subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.